Good afternoon. This is my reflection over all of the things that I have taken away with me through this humanities course over the past 8 weeks. It has been a privilege to be a student, and I appreciate all of the things that you have offered to me and that I have been able to learn. So, starting off, an example of work that I created that shows my understanding and interpretation of love is the Unit 1 project whenever it comes down to the photography. Although I created that project outside of the parameters of what you had asked for, I still feel that connection of Store Hey Love, as the pictures I depicted were all about my children and the course of life that we have led together over the past 12 years. And I was able to truly see the depiction of love in every single stage of their life, in every single moment of each photo that I shared with you. An example of work that I analyze to show that I understand another person's experience would be whenever I read The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. Identifying through character analysis and reading the book with Lady Brett Ashley really leads me to believe that I do understand her personal experience, even as a fictional character. An example of a new experience I discovered this semester is my newfound love of fictional literature. I'm not an avid reader. However, I do intend on changing that and incorporating more books, especially Ernest Hemingway, starting off with him, into my life. So, on to the next. One example that I learned in my favorite discussion board is the short story discussion board. I read The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant, and this story tells a beautiful story and very tragic story of love and the sacrifices made for love, and then loss of a material item, which happened to be a diamond necklace borrowed from this lady's friend, who was better off than the lady who borrowed the necklace. And she loses the necklace at this royal ball that she attends. And after a week of not finding the necklace, her and her husband cannot dare have the courage to go to this lady's friend and say, hey, I lost your necklace. So instead they go and they search all over town, all over the place, for an identical necklace, and end up taking out a loan for a large sum of money and spending their inheritance on replacing this diamond necklace, without ever telling the friend that loaned the necklace that this was not the same necklace, until 10 years later, after the man and woman, the husband and wife, had slaved away to repay their debt, just in replacing this necklace, only to find out one day, 10 years later, when Lady Loisel was walking through the park, and her friend who had loaned the necklace hardly recognized her because she had aged so badly and poorly. And Lady Loisel said, well, this is how life has been treating me, and this is why. And just come to find out, her friend says, oh, honey, that necklace was not even real. She basically told her they were rhinestones. So I really learned a huge lesson in that story. It's a tale as old as time that materialism is not important. Those are not the things that we can take with us when we go. Our legacy is what we will leave behind to our family and to the world and those who love and care about us. I never really struggled in any of the discussion boards to connect a theme of love through art, photography, the short story discussion, theater, and music. The themes of love were very evident to me. An example of a topic or part of culture that I would like to explore further would be literature. As I said before, I am not an avid reader. However, I do plan to change that. As I further my academic career, I would like to envelop myself in becoming a reader and somebody who is knowledgeable of several literary works, such as yourself, and that's very admirable. And I know that it would do good for my body, soul, and mind. So that's something that I would like to explore further, literature. I've changed as a result of going through this class and being more open-minded to the various genres of the arts, through literature, photography, paintings, music, and theater. And I've learned to expect more out of myself and less from others. So the central idea of what I'm explaining to you right now is that I've learned that humanities really is a study of the human race. It isn't just about slavery and human rights and poverty in the other parts of the world that we are responsible as a more fortunate country or persons or people to lend a helping hand. Humanities is also encouraging and is about what us as humans can create. Something that I did like the most about the course is just that you focused on the arts, on music, on theater, on photography, on music, and just you didn't choose to approach humanities from a woman's suffrage point of view or things of that nature. You made the course very encouraging and enjoyable and positive for the most part. Now, if I could change anything about the course, if I were an educator, I would lessen the points deducted for late penalty on work, but that's just me. But I totally understand why you do what you do. You organized and delivered the expectations of each lecture, discussion board, and unit projects well. I would suggest that on the Unit 1 photography project, that the pictures you expect to be used, you should clearly state your expectation that they should be new pictures and emphasize the present tense. That you are looking for your students' ability to take quality photos and applying the elements and techniques that you taught in the lecture, not just tell the story. So other than that, you are a credible, phenomenal, highly knowledgeable professor, and I am so grateful to have spent the last 8 weeks on this journey through the arts, through the lenses of humanities with you. Thank you so much. Sorry about going over the time limit.